Are you enjoying the game today too? Welcome back to the deep dive. That greeting might feel a little different, but it's for a good reason. Today we are jumping headfirst into a world of knights, demons, and just legendary frustration.
We're talking about Capcom's 1985 masterpiece of pain, Makaimura.
Or, as most of you probably screamed at it, Ghosts and Goblins.
Exactly. Our mission today is to dig into the source material you send over and really figure out why this game is still the gold standard for difficulty. We'll be looking at the original arcade version versus its, let's say, infamous family computer port.
Oh, the FCC port. I think that version single-handedly taught a generation of kids what true despair felt like. I just have this core memory of the shock. The absolute shock of seeing this noble knight, Arthur, get hit once and his armor just explodes, leaving him in his boxers.
It's so goofy but so brilliant. That image alone tells you everything you need to know about how vulnerable you are. But as we're about to find out, losing your armor is just the beginning of the nightmare.
Okay, so let's set the stage. This is a 2D side-scrolling action game from Capcom. Arcade version hit in September '85.
And the family computer port, the one that seared itself into our childhoods, that was June 1986.
The whole thing is set in this, dark fantasy demon world. And the catchphrase on the arcade cabinet was just, welcome.
So simple, but so ominous. It's like, welcome to your doom.
The plot is classic, right? A princess gets kidnapped by demons.
Yep. And our hero, the Knight Arthur, has to go rescue her all by himself, armed with a lance, and apparently not much else.
Now, this is where the lore gets interesting. I was surprised to find out that the princess was originally named Guinevere.
Guinevere, yeah. It was a clear nod to Arthurian legend. You have Arthur, you have Guinevere. It all fits.
But then they just threw that out.
They completely abandoned it. By the time Makaimura 2 came out, that's Ghouls and Ghosts 2 for us overseas, her name was Prin Prin.
Prin Prin. It's like they went from high fantasy to Saturday morning cartoon.
Exactly. And the main villain, the Great Demon King, was first called Gondius. But he got a name change too, becoming Astaroth in the sequels, the name we all know now.
All right, let's talk systems. This is what makes the game what it is. You mentioned the armor.
Right. Arthur starts fully armored. One hit, any hit, and the armor shatters. He's left in his underwear.
The state of shame.
The state of extreme vulnerability. A second hit in that state, and he just crumbles into a pile of bones. Game over. Well, one life down.
You can get armor back, but it's a random drop, mostly.
Mostly. But the real enemy in this game, it's not the zombies, it's the physics. It's Arthur's own movement.
No, the jump. The fixed jump.
The fixed jump. It's short, you're locked into the arc the moment your feet leave the ground. You can turn around midair, but you can't change where you're going to land.
So every single jump over a pit had to be pixel perfect. There was no course correction, no, oops, let me just adjust a little.
None. And to make it even worse, there's the knockback.
The knockback.
Anytime you take damage, you get thrown backwards. On solid ground, it's annoying. Over a pit or on a moving platform.
It's an instant death sentence. It doesn't matter if you had armor or not. One hit and you're just flung into the abyss.
It feels incredibly unfair, but that was the design. It forces you to master not just timing, but spacing. You have to know where every enemy is and where you'll be if you get hit.
It's so different from something like Mega Man where you have so much control. Arthur is basically a turret that can jump.
A very clumsy turret, yeah. And his weapons are all projectiles.
Yeah.
You start with the spear, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's reliable.
Then you've got the dagger, which is just a faster spear. That's the one you want.
Always. But then there are the others. The axe, which flies in this weird arc.
And the torch, the taimatsu, which is almost useless, it arcs down and sets a tiny fire on the ground.
Very situational. And then there's the cross, or the crucifix.
Short range, but it's the only weapon that can destroy enemy projectiles, which is huge.
It's critical. And that leads us to the most infamous part of the game's structure, the two-loop requirement.
Right. You fight through 6 brutal stages, get to the final boss on stage 7, you beat him, and you think you've won.
But no. You get a message in English saying it was all an illusion created by Satan, and then boom, you're right back at stage 1.
The ultimate arcade quarter muncher. You have to do it all over again, and the second loop is even harder.
And here's the kicker. To even fight the real final boss, you have to have the cross equipped. If you get to the end of stage 6 on either loop without it,
it sends you back.
It sends you back to the start of stage 5 to find it. The game literally won't let you finish without the right tool for the job.
Okay, let's talk about the arcade version first. Because for all its difficulty, the consensus is that it's meticulously balanced. It's hard, but it's fair.
Absolutely. Every enemy placement feels deliberate. You can learn the patterns.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the most famous pattern of all, the red Arremer.
Oh man, that red demon, it shows up halfway through stage 1 and just destroys you. It flies around, it dodges your shots, it spits fire.
It's the game's first true skill check. It feels random and chaotic, but it has a very specific pattern. Once you learn its timing, you can actually take it down pretty easily. It's the game teaching you that you can't just brute force your way through.
I just remember as a kid seeing it and my brain just shutting down. It was a monster.
Yeah.
And the story behind its name is just, it's perfect.
It is, isn't it? The name, Red Arremer, is a play on the name of the lead programmer, Arima Toshio.
Get out, seriously.
Seriously. The legend is that the character's face was based on his peed when he was angry or annoyed.
No way. So the most frustrating enemy in the game is literally modeled after a frustrated programmer. That's amazing.
But even with that brilliant design, the arcade version had one massive flaw.
The cross.
The cross. Getting it was completely up to chance. It was a random drop from a pot. So you could be an amazing player, master every stage, and just get stuck at the end because of bad luck.
So your entire run could be ruined by pure RNG. That's the one part that feels genuinely unfair.
It is. It's the only part where player skill is totally irrelevant. They also had a bug on the early boards where you could mess with the timer for infinite points, but they patched that out pretty fast.
Okay, now, let's talk about the FDC version. The one that cemented this series' reputation for being just certifiably insane.
Yeah, the port was handled by a company called Microgenics, and it was rough. The character movement was jerky, the music was a mess, and it had this weird slowdown every time you started a stage. It felt like the game was constantly struggling to keep up.
But the real killer, the thing that changed everything, was a change to the combat.
The rapid-fire technique.
Yeah.
In the arcade, you could tap left and right while shooting to cancel the animation and fire way faster. It was essential for tough enemies.
And in the FC version?
Gone. Completely removed.
But what does that do to a fight like the Red Arremer?
It makes it a nightmare. An enemy that required quick, sustained damage now had to be fought with slow, single shots. It turned a fast-paced skill check into a slow, agonizing slog. That's why so many people quit on stage 1. The core feel of the combat was just fundamentally broken.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, they added fake items just to mess with you.
The ultimate troll move. They added the fake king, which looks just like a high-score item. You grab it and poof, you're a frog.
A frog in Makaimura.
A frog that can't jump or attack for several seconds. In a game built on precision movement, that's just devastating. It's pure psychological warfare.
And they gave bosses weapon resistances too, right?
It did. Suddenly, the unicorn was immune to the cross, the dragon was immune to the spear. It forced you to constantly switch weapons, adding another layer of randomness that just wasn't in the original.
So it was slower, jerkier, and had more random punishing elements. Was there anything good about the FDC port?
Surprisingly, yes. One very important thing. They fixed the cross problem. Because they used a big ROM, they were able to hide items in the stages. And they included a secret spot in stage 6 with a guaranteed cross drop.
Wow! So they made the moment-to-moment gameplay way harder and more frustrating, but they removed the single biggest point of unfairness from the arcade original. That's a fascinating trade-off.
It is. And one more thing. The overseas NES version, Ghosts and Goblins, had a continue option right on the title screen. No cheat code needed. And they changed the cross weapon to shield because of religious concerns, even though the icon was still, very clearly a cross.
Wild. And despite all those flaws, or maybe because of them, the FC version sold over 1.6 million copies. The whole series is at 4.5 million. People just love being punished, I guess.
That difficulty became its identity, and it led to this incredible legacy. You have Makaimura 2 in '88.
The one with the golden armor and magic spells.
Then Makaimura 3 on the Super Famicom in '91. That one is interesting because it gave Arthur a 2-stage jump.
Wait a minute, a double jump? Doesn't that kind of break the whole philosophy of the series? The punishing fixed jump was the entire point.
It's a great question. And yeah, a lot of people feel Makaimura 3 is a bit easier because of it. It gives you back a level of control and forgiveness that just didn't exist before. It shows them grappling with whether to evolve or stick to their punishing roots.
Then you had the much later titles like Goku Makimura on PSP in 2006 and the amazing modern remake Kaitakita Makimura in 2021.
And we can't forget the spin-offs. The Red Arremer was so popular he got his own game series.
And my favorite piece of trivia from the sources, there was another FC game called Makajima, where the final boss is a giant godlike version of the Red Arremer named Devil the Red Arremer.
An enemy so hard he literally ascended to godhood. I can't think of a better summary for this series' impact.
So, wrapping this up, we have two versions of a classic. The AC original is this perfectly tuned, high-skill challenge. It's fair, but demanding.
And then you have the FC port. A flawed, jerky, broken mess that, through its very technical limitations, accidentally created one of the most legendarily punishing video game experiences of all time.
Which really leaves you with a question to think about. What kind of difficulty is the truer test of a player's will? Is it the perfectly designed challenge that rewards mastery, like the arcade version? Or is it the chaotic, broken challenge of the FC port that forces you to conquer not just the game, but the flaws of the system itself? Will the game be fun tomorrow too? Have a nice game.